Hello friends, welcome back to my beautiful Gone Life. This is Ansi, and this week I had an opportunity to visit a nursery and I did record a beautiful video of the plants that he was selling at this particular nursery in South Goa, and here I am sharing it with you. Well, to kick off, this is a first plant. It's a geranium which he was selling for rupees 150. And like the previous visit to a nursery, this nursery also had a variety of kalanchoes or kalanchoes for sale. I feel the supplier is the same, a wholesaler from Bangalore who supplies it for them. Besides kalanchoe, I did find begonias for sale. There was this lovely collection of begonias that he had, for which he was quoting 150. And he said he would bring it down to 120, and kalanchoes were sold for 120 again. But he also had a huge big one for which he was quoting 450. This nursery also had calla lily for which he was quoting 450. This is the one that I was telling you about for which he was quoting 450. Then there was this lovely angel wing begonias for sale for which was 150. He also had neon pothos for sale for which he was quoting 100 rupees per pot. Again a kalanchoe for 450. Then there was this variety of impatiens, and if you notice there were this double shaded impatient flowers which were looking beautiful, for which he was quoting rupees 80 per poly bag, and if it was in a vase he was quoting 120. This is the addition that I saw in his nursery, the Adenium or the desert rose, for which he was quoting 450 per pot. Of course, if you look at it, they are all single petal. There was only one pot which was having double petal, and that again he was quoting rupees 450. I was amazed by this double shaded adenium flowers that he was having for displays, and I was also pretty amazed with this double shaded adenium that was also for sale for rupees 450. Of course, I feel the price is little on the higher side, but adeniums do sell at a little higher price here in Goa. Besides, this was my all-time favorite, which is the gaberas, which are still there in the nursery for sale, and that was again quoted for 150. And yes, the favorite, the mums or the shivtis, which is still available. I know as we are already getting into summer flowering plants, these are still available here in Goa, for which is quoting 120. Of course, the price is as new as this season, and the flowers are old. This is another variety he had of impatiens for which he was quoting 120. There was lot of pots of pentas flowers for which he was quoting 100 rupees, and he said if I would take more than 3, then he would give it to me for 80 rupees. He had a huge variety and they were a pretty sight to look at. This is a new addition that I saw in the nursery. I think they are called as stock flowers, for which he was quoting 100 rupees per poly bag. Just because it is a new addition, I guess he's quoting this price, but I feel it should be roughly around 80 rupees given from the other nurseries. These are the all-time favorite vincas, and they are such a pretty sight when they are all together, and for this he was quoting 80 rupees. The next one, next to the vincas, we had this awesome collection of carnations. Yes, it belongs to the same family of the Dianthus. Carnations were available for him for 150, for which he wasn't ready to reduce it when I told him it belongs to this winter season, kharab ho jayega and all. He was like, no, 150 is the price that he would be asking for those pots. This is another chrysanthemums variety that he had. These are like little bigger flowers for which again he was quoting 150. He still had dahlias and they were really blooming so well and so pretty to look at. So for the dahlias, of course, I remember in the previous season or in the previous visit, he was telling me 180, and now he's quoting 120 for each pot which is there in a plastic pot. They are a beautiful sight to look at. Next to the dahlias were this collection of hibiscus plant, and there was this lovely orange color for which he was quoting 160, 180 depending upon the type and the color of flowers. Marigolds are still available, and they are a pure sight of gold to look at. A beautiful collection. Zinnias were also available. He was quoting rupees 80 for each. However, I was telling him that the zinnias do not look very fresh and very happy, but he only smiled, saying, "Madam, ye chalega 3 mahina." And then there was Dianthus, for which he was quoting 40 rupees. Next to the Dianthus were these Torrentias and Chrysanthemums again. These he was quoting for 150 because they said it's a special variety. And then came the roses. I was surprised looking at the roses because he just had 3 colors. There were this pink, a red color, and the yellow color roses, for which he was quoting rupees 50 if it was in a poly bag and rupees 80 if it was in a plastic pot. The roses looked very good and fresh and strong, as in the stems were quite fat. Besides that were the summer flowering plants, that is the mogra, and this was a double petal plant that he was selling, for which he was quoting 150. If you look at the prices, it is like averaged out around 120, so most of his plants were available for 120, 150. There was also this passiflora plant for which he was quoting 150. Then the bougainvilleas were there, and also the dog flowers. For the dog flowers, he was quoting 80 rupees. And besides that, we had this plant which we locally called as a santaton, for which he was quoting 120. This is all that he had at this nursery. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for watching.